Hi, it's Andrea. Welcome back to my channel. I share authentic stories, travel experiences, and tips on navigating life and money. Welcome. Today we're going to talk about how to not hate packing. I'm not a fan of packing, but I love travel. So it is a necessary evil and one that I kind of have to force myself to do. So I'm actually combining doing this video with you and packing because we're leaving for our 20th anniversary cruise in about a week, which is about how long it takes me to kind of really fully do packing. And I'm gonna need to do a few videos and I'm gonna put them together for you because I have learned a lot of things and I have a lot of tips, but since this is my first travel video, I am still trying to organize myself, but I also didn't want to wait to do the video because I don't have everything organized. I wanted to just start. So I'm just starting so I can still share. I wanted to be able to share my tips with you. Okay. So the first tip that I have for you is, as you see, I have my bags here. Now, bless your heart if you can do just a carry-on, and maybe in my future I'll do a challenge video to myself to do a trip, any trip, with just a carry-on, because I'm lucky that I don't have more than one check-in check bags, because I am not the best packer. Like my husband's way better at it than me, and I just like to take everything. So I really have to, I've gotten better, but I definitely struggle with trying to bring everything. So that's the one thing I have to fight against myself every single time I pack, is just bringing too many things. And typically, from a previous trip, if I've learned a lesson, then I can, write that down or remember from last time. So one tip that I have for you that I wanted just to quickly mention is, while you're on a trip, start taking notes. Like, create a note in a Google Note or some sort of a note for yourself, that if you forget something, write it down so that your next trip you have it with you. So I literally have like a rolling checklist in my Google Notes so that I can remember what to bring. And generally I feel like I do pretty good because of that list, and it helps me remember what to bring. All right, I'm gonna get started. So for my carry-on, I do try to bring a swimming suit and flip-flops and some sort of a change of clothes, because we landed in Rome and we actually got on the ship. Actually, I was pregnant with my oldest child on that trip. And we actually got on the boat without luggage, I think at least my luggage. I can't remember if, at this point, I'll have to ask Jeff if he had his luggage, or if it was just mine. Anyway, so I've definitely learned that lesson, that you have to be prepared to get on a boat without your big luggage, or whatever. So this is one of my favorite. It doesn't really look that. I don't like how it looks off of me, but this is one of my favorite swimming suits. So cute little bottoms, and this is going to go into my carry-on. And another thing that one other tip, if you use an electric toothbrush, either make sure you charge your toothbrush, because typically I think my toothbrush will last 2 weeks or close to it, or bring your charger. Because I think it was 2 cruises ago, I was on a cruise and my toothbrush died, and I was just like, oh, this sucks. So that is definitely a lesson that I've learned. Remember to charge your electric toothbrush. Okay, definitely any prescriptions go in your carry-on or in your handheld. And then one thing that you can do as a tip to start your packing, a week before, is things like this. Like, start getting yourself organized, re-add your Q-tips, things like that. And like, if you're low on your carry-on shampoo and conditioner or body wash or whatever, start getting that stuff organized, because those are the things that, at least for me, they sneak up on me, and then I'm just like totally rushing at the end, which I try not to do, but I typically do anyway. But I'm trying. See, this is me trying with you by getting done a little bit early. Q-tips, got them. One thing I actually bought for this trip is the single makeup removal towelettes. Now, I do tend to wear makeup throughout the cruise, but there are some days that I don't wear makeup. But I have to have something to take off my makeup because typically I'm using some sort of a mascara that's, you know, hard to take off or whatever, and I don't like to like rub my face super hard. So this is one thing that I did buy. This I actually got these at Sierra. If you have a Sierra or a Marshalls, this was only $5. You know, to me, this is definitely worth it. I typically don't like to use these things at home because it's a waste, in my opinion, these individual, you know, towelettes. But I do use like a piece of cotton, which, you know, that's still, I'm throwing that away. But I will use that on vacation. Okay, this little pouch here, I wanted to show you. Actually, let me go get it. Okay, so this is typically what I use for my carry-on purse, if you will. So I will bring this as my carry-on. We fly Alaska typically, so it isn't an issue in terms of, you know, one personal item, whatever. I can put this underneath my seat and put this overhead with Alaska, and then we actually have the Visa card with Alaska, so we get our one checked luggage each free with our Visa. At least I hope it's still true. Anyway, so like I said, I can use this as my purse. And then one thing that I like to do is I like to put another little purse or little bag in here to help keep things separated. So this is kind of just, as I mentioned, this is the start of my week. It's the start of my video. All right, couple more tips. We are going on a Princess cruise, and on the Princess cruises, they have laundry facilities that you can use, and you can use coin. They're coin operated laundrettes. So we bring this little bin, little plastic container, and we put, because I'm really sensitive, I have to have fragrance-free laundry detergent, so they do sell laundry detergent on board, but I can't use that kind. And so we just bring this little thing. We cruise enough with Princess that we actually just typically have the coins from a previous time. And then one other tip that my sister, one of my sisters, I cruise with her, and she showed me these metal clips to use. She was really up on all the latest gadgets. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. I actually only have 2, so I need to order a few more, but I am gonna put those in there and then put those, because the sides of the walls in the cruise ship staterooms, they're metal, so you can put those little clips in and hang things. Okay. I'm also going to take this time for the first time this extension cord. I typically don't, and then I typically regret it. Now, the only thing I did have to look up is that this one has a surge protector, 3-prong, and I'm either going to try to find a prong that goes over the top that's just 2-prong, or I'm going to see if I can maybe try to find a different one. But this one actually has 2 USBs and 2 additional outlets. So the other thing that I recall, and you know, I don't remember everything after we cruise, but is that although they do typically have outlets on one side of the bed, I feel like they don't always have it on both sides of the bed. I could be wrong on that, but I just kind of remember that. So I'm gonna bring this time, and hopefully that's useful. Another tip, I put my makeup bag in my carry-on, because of course I don't want all my powders and my eyeshadows checked luggage. I carry this on. So I put that there. Okay, we are going on a Princess cruise, so we got the medallion sent to us, and so they come like this. And we actually, we cruise enough that I've actually purchased the bracelet in a previous cruise for me. This is what I like to cruise with. And so you just pop this out of here. They just pop right out. And then I put it in, as I mentioned, I bought this bracelet on a previous cruise. And then you just pop it in. You're good to go. If you put the magnet in right. Pretty sure. There we go. Okay, there we go. And then close it up. So that's what I like to do, is because then when you're going up to the door, or you're going up to, you know, wherever you're going, to the going out of the cruise ship, and I actually really like that look. I splurged on a previous cruise and bought that for myself. Jeffrey likes to use the sport band. And this was not very much money. I can't remember how much it was, but it wasn't very much money. And so, same thing. You take it out of when it comes in, and then you just pop it in. You pop it in there, and then you're good to go. And I'll bring these for us. I'll put them in my, I'll bring these just in case something happens. I will throw these in my check luggage, just in case. For whatever reason, but I will pack these in this bag that I'll take on the actual plane. All right, a couple more tips. First of all, if you are concerned about getting seasick, these C-bands really work for me. Now, I typically don't get seasick, so if you are really worried about getting seasick, this may not be enough for you. But if you typically don't get seasick like me, and you want to just kind of have a little bit of extra possible preventative, these C-bands are great. They're pressure point, whatever, and they actually really work for me. So I typically don't have to use these. And like I said, I don't typically get seasick, but I bring these if it's a, you know, if it's a really unexpected wavy cruise. These help me. And like if we are going on a catamaran this time, I'll bring these on the catamaran. And again, typically I don't need to use them, but I'd rather use these than Dramamine, because I don't like Dramamine. It just makes me, I don't like it. And I haven't used actually Dramamine in a long time, because these actually work enough for me that I don't need that. So this is one tip I would like to share with you for cruising. And I typically, this is hand sanitizer, so I'll typically take this off ship. On ship, there's hand sanitizer everywhere still. But I have gotten sick on a cruise before, just like norovirus. And so I'm actually pretty diligent on cruises to wash my hands and, you know, use hand sanitizer, because I don't want to get sick. And it's generally pretty easy to get sick on cruises because everybody's there. But my last 2 cruises I haven't gotten sick. It's been before then. I think we've done around 8 cruises. I think I've been on around 8 cruises. Okay, another thing that I do is I bring the small one off ship, and it's actually almost empty, so I really need to get another one. And then I'll bring like something like this that's, you know, kind of a small amount off ship. And even this is, I just put some sunscreen in here, and I might take this off ship. This might be enough for me. If I've put on sunscreen in the morning, I should be good to go. But just remember, if you're going off ship, take sunscreen for sure. Okay. One more tip that I wanted to share with you in this portion is I bring mousse with me, because I typically am taking a lot more showers and even washing my hair a lot more than I typically do. Now my hair actually looks pretty decent. Just shower, actually my husband loves it. We call it the wet hair look. So I can just shampoo, and you'll probably see this on the cruise. And then I use this mousse, and then I can just scrunch and go. So you do have to kind of think about, how does your hair, when you're going to Florida, or if you're in a more humid environment, or, you know, just, it may not be the same, or you may not want to put the same exact amount of effort into your hair when you're on regular life than you do when you're on the cruise. So just consider that. The other thing I actually like to use is just spray gel. That kind of does the same thing for me, and especially for casual nights. And I don't want to, like, you know, I'm certainly not blow drying my hair and curling it. That just never happens for me. I might let my hair air dry and then, like, during the day, and then maybe I'll use my, actually I love this thing. The Lange, this is definitely what I'll be taking. I haven't actually done a tutorial with the Lange yet, and I think it's an air styler. I forgot the name of this, but it is, in fact, I really want another one. I only have one of these right now, and I'm afraid, I'm just like, I really want another one on hand because I use it all the time. So just think about how you do your hair and how you might do your hair differently. Like if you've been to Disney, like just remember that it might not be the exact same, and you might want a little bit less maintenance way, but still, you know, put a little effort or whatever you want to do. So just wanted to give you that tip that I do actually do a little something different when I'm cruising, because I'm in the pool, I'm taking a little bit more showers, and so I wanted to share that.
All right, I don't know if this clip is actually going to make the cut. So I'm not sure I'm going to be wanting to show myself with a bathing suit. But here's what I wanted to say as my tip for the bathing suit is, y'all, you got to try on your stuff. So you got to try it on. You just got to try everything on. You got to try it on in front of a mirror. And you got to see it for yourself. Because some of these clothes, you might, because I don't, use them but once a year, or even maybe less frequent than that. And so you got to try it on. You got to try everything on. And then you really know, if you do it in front of a mirror, you really know what you look like. So as hard as it is and annoying as it is, at least it is for me, I hate trying it all on. Because I'm like, I shouldn't have to retry it on every single time. But I do, because my weight changes and all that good stuff. So I'm trying it all on. I'm in the midst of it, so I'm giving you the tip. You gotta try on your stuff. Gotta try it on. All right. I got one more suggestion. So, one more tip. I got one more tip for you. You gotta try on your jewelry with your outfit. Because again, some of these outfits you may not wear all the time. Like for me, my cruise outfit itinerary is very different than what I wear every day to work. It just is. I'm a little bit fancier. I'm a little bit, like, you know, casual in some ways. And also when we typically go on cruises, it's winter where we live and it's summer where we're going. So like even, you know, skirts or whatever, you know, wear capris. Sorry, these are capris. So even capris, you know, if I haven't worn them in 9 months, I may not fit them. So this is that polka dot, you may be able to see it, I'm not totally sure, swimming suit that I like. It's my favorite, and this is my favorite over suit. Anyway, I just wanted to say, you also got to try on your jewelry with your outfit. So you got to put your outfits together. You got to know exactly what you're bringing, because you don't want to bring extra stuff, but you also need to make sure it fits and it looks good and you like it, because again, you haven't worn it once, or you know, there's a chance you just don't want to bring extra stuff. So that's the tip. Try it on, jewelry and outfit. All right, thank you.